What's up, YouTube? It's your friendly neighborhood GM, Coach Key, and welcome to Legends and Dice Cafe, where we learn about tabletop RPGs from old school to modern, and do lots and lots of solo gameplay and GM tips. Back with my weekly video, like I do on Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and today's video topic is courtesy of our Patreon supporters voting on the video that I do for this week, and they picked tabletop RPGs, how to keep your players engaged. Just a few tips from my experience that I'm learning and still in the process of incorporating into my games. And if you'd like to further support the channel, make sure you hop on over to Patreon and subscribe to Legends and Dice Cafe. And don't forget to make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It helps YouTube or makes YouTube think that I am pretty freaking cool. And I think that's it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the video. And if you are wondering why I have this super cool glove on, first off, I think gloves are super cool and I enjoy wearing them, okay? And I'd wear them more if it wasn't so hot down in Georgia, okay? But I burnt myself on my hand and I didn't want you guys having to see my boo-boo, just in case stuff like that creeps you out. So I threw a glove on, and the wrapping that I did, I didn't really do the best job. So I threw the glove on because I thought it was pretty cool. And tip number one is going to be balance the spotlight. In other words, make sure that all of your players get an opportunity to shine. Now, some players are going to be a little bit on the shy side, which is understandable, especially if they're new, or it might just be part of their personality. One way that I have tried to learn how to incorporate into my games is honestly just calling on each player in different parts of the game and asking them, hey, well, what are you doing? Okay, well, what is your character doing? All right, well, what is your character doing? And so on and so on. That way it helps bring them to the forefront. I learned that from playing in other games, and it kind of made me feel pretty special, them calling out my character's name, because I was a little shy back then when speaking and or speaking up in the adventures. So them actually taking the time out to call upon each individual character periodically throughout the game, it made me feel like it helped me play more of a role and more of a part. And there are going to be times that you're going to have players that are going to want to take that spotlight on themselves. And for situations like that, again, calling on all of your players to ask them what are they doing at that moment or what it is that they would like to do, it helps out. Tip number two, providing a backstory and lore to your adventure, to your setting, giving the players a background of the adventure, a background of the town, of the village, anywhere that they're visiting, definitely it helps me as a player to engage, be more a part of the game, to immerse yourself and your players and you as a player into the adventure, into the world that you are adventuring into. And step number three, try to include a variety of different types of challenges. For example, puzzles, games, role-playing situations or opportunities for people to role-play, and combat. Me personally, I like a balance of all of them. As a player and as a game master, I like a good balance of role-playing, combat, and exploration. And step number four, which I'm still learning to incorporate again into my games, these are just things that I'm learning along the way that I'm just sharing with you. Tip number four, incorporate their backstories. Now, I've tried this with a couple of my characters. One of the characters, they had amnesia. One of the villains that they fought, I made it so that villain knew who they were. But instead of asking questions, they just wanted to kill him. So, And another example is in Dragon Heist, which is what I'm currently running. There's a part where an explosion goes off. So one of the characters, inside of his backstory, he was saying that he was looking for his brother. So I thought it'd be pretty cool to incorporate the brother into the explosion. The brother actually being one of the dead bodies that they go to investigate. And I kind of started that a little later on in the campaign, but I saw that they actually enjoyed that and they appreciated that. So moving forward, I will make it a point to definitely incorporate their backstories into the campaign, because I see how fun it can be, and it's a great way to help everyone stay engaged. Step number five is rewarding your players with some really cool magical items and treasures periodically throughout the adventure. All the players that I've had, they love exploring and they love finding cool items as they're exploring. And I love to incorporate puzzles. Once they complete the puzzle or figure out the riddle, I try to make sure that there's always something fun that they're given, and them finding miscellaneous things might help them to be more curious and to put more time into actually exploring different areas that you guys come upon. Tip number 6, I think was really cool. Another way that helped my players to be more a part of the world and to engage more and to help keep them engaged was downtime activities. Things that they did in between time. Oftentimes they would want to speak to the NPCs around the area to gather information or to honestly just make friends, meet people that they could possibly utilize later on in the campaign. And tip number 7 is celebrating your player contributions in any way, whether it's role playing, however they add to the game, because you guys are both adding to the game and adding to the adventure and adding to the story. You can reward them with inspiration or many different things. You could be super creative. And it's your game, so you kind of run it as you see fit. That's the perks of being the game master. And tip number 8, which again, these are things that I'm still learning to incorporate more and more into my adventures, but I'm looking forward to growing and becoming a better and better game master and a better and better player. So again, tip number 8 is going to be make sure you populate your town with memorable NPCs. NPCs that your players can go back and revisit, that NPCs that know their name. For instance, if you guys kind of visit a tavern consistently, make it a point so that those NPCs, anybody in there actually knows your PCs. For instance, what I like about Dragon Heist is it gave you a list of friendly faces, and these are people that your players were able to pick out someone that they already knew adventuring into Waterdeep, which I thought was pretty cool. One of my players picked the proprietor, so the proprietor already knew him. So during his downtime activities, when he needed a little bit of help, they were actually able to call upon some of these NPCs, some of these friendly faces that they already knew, and they continued to develop a relationship with these NPCs as time progressed, as the adventure progressed, which was really cool to see. Number 9 is leave them with cliffhangers. At the end of their session, leave them with a cliffhanger. Keep them guessing and keep them curious and looking forward to coming back to the next session because they have no idea what is going to possibly happen during this next session and the following sessions. And my last tip, number 10, one of my favorites is to hold a session 0. Session 0 is great, a great start in engaging your players into the campaign, into the world, into the adventure before it even begins. Not only that, but you guys get an opportunity, the players get an opportunity to introduce themselves together just in case this is going to be their first time ever playing together. So it gives them an opportunity to kind of build a little bit of rapport, which is always fantastic. That's also a fantastic opportunity for you to introduce the backstory and the lore of your setting and your world to your players. And on top of that, which I have yet to do, but I have not ran many campaigns, just 2 so far. So maybe the next campaign, if everyone is up for it, I would love for us during session 0 to actually use that opportunity for everyone to build their characters together. So again, I'm still a fairly, still a fairly new game master. Let me see, I think I've had almost 20 sessions so far, including the campaigns that I've run, as well as the one-shots that I had the opportunity to run in person at MomoCon. So if you missed the video where I was showing you a little bit of the fun that MomoCon, the convention, had to offer, definitely check that video out. Oh, and honestly, one more tip. This is just a bonus tip. I think the best tip to focus on is to make sure that you and your players are all having fun. And fun looks different for every group, for every player, for every game master. So as long as you guys are having fun, that's what you focus on, is having more of that fun. Just a reminder for the game masters out there, sometimes as an artist, as a game master, all the way around, we can absolutely be our worst critic, 100%. So I would suggest that you just go in to each session doing your best, so that way you leave with no regrets. Learn from everything, learn from your sessions, learn from yourself, learn from your players, and then just make sure that you do better the next time around. I was just telling someone the other day, a reminder that my mother gave me, there's no need for you to take the time out to be kicking yourself in the butt when the world is waiting to do it for you. So don't waste time, beating yourself up for things that you felt like you could have done better. You could have done better. Just learn and do better next time around. You feel me? Beating yourself up is a waste of time and it's not going to benefit anyone. So just do your best. And I know that you're probably already doing your best. But again, we are always our worst critic. So you're probably telling yourself, you're probably giving yourself all these many different reasons to doubt. So again, just a little bit of advice. So as always, thank you guys for taking the time out to watch and support the channel. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and an awesome start to your week. And I'll see you guys same time next week.